Thursday. And that is all the sport for now. Back to you.
Thanks, John.
Just getting some reaction to that story from the European Court of Human Rights, where a British Airways employee who claims she suffered discrimination at work because of her faith. She's won a landmark legal battle at the European Court. This is because she wore a cross in breach of company uniform codes. Well, British Airways says it was not a party to this legal action. It was pursued against the UK government. And they say our own uniform policy was changed in 2007 to allow Miss Aweda and others to wear symbols of faith, and she and other employees have been working under these arrangements for the last 6 years.
Let's get more reaction to this. Andrew Copson is Chief Executive of the British Humanist Association, joins us now from central London. Your reaction?
Well, I think it's wrong, actually, to be reporting specifically the case of Aweda, who was permitted to wear the cross. There were 4 cases being heard in the European Court, the results of which we've got today, and 3 out of 4 of them are lost. Miss Aweda has got the chance to wear the cross. As BA said, and you've heard just then, she was allowed to wear it anyway, so it was difficult to know what the case was really meant to achieve. The other 3 people who were claiming persecution against them, discrimination against them because of their Christian beliefs, have lost their cases. So really the story that is the story today is that the European Court has found against 3 out of the 4 cases that claim Christian.
Yes, we have been reporting that extensively, so your reaction to that?
Yeah, well, I think it's a very common sense ruling. What the European Court did is they said that the question they needed to examine when someone brings a claim of discrimination against them because of their religious beliefs is, would this person manifesting their religion have a negative impact on someone else? And in the case of Lillian Ledaley, the registrar who wouldn't conduct civil partnerships, and the case of Gary McFarlane, the relationship counsellor who wouldn't counsel gay people, and in the case of Shirley Chaplin, the nurse who refused to wear her cross on a pin and insisted on wearing it on a necklace even though patients would grab it and it would be dangerous in her nursing. In all those cases, the European Court said actually these people's religious beliefs, if they're allowed to manifest them, would harm the rights of others. And I think that's the right dividing line in a tolerant, civilised society. And so that's why I'd welcome those 3 cases. Now, in the case of Aweda and the BA case and her ability to wear a cross, I think you can plausibly argue that actually being allowed to wear that doesn't interfere with anyone else. So I think the court might reasonably have come to the right decision there as well.
So you think the law is in the right place at the moment? People should be allowed to wear their religious symbols, but not if it impacts anyone else?
I think that's exactly right. And the shame, the great shame of this, is that these courts have gone as far, these cases have gone as far as the European Court. They've been supported and organised and promoted by very political Christian lobby groups that have used them to attempt to whip up a sort of narrative, a very false narrative of Christian persecution in this country, which doesn't exist and which is very damaging and divisive. I think in this country we can manage to rub along with each other, and we don't need these sorts of artificial cases and over-the-top narratives of persecution getting in the way of that. So I think it's really a great shame. You know, the court's rulings are very good in 3 of these 4 cases, and that's to be welcomed, but I think at the same time we should take a step back and say in the future we mustn't allow these fake stories of persecution to really gain headlines in this way, have this sort of fake hysteria and victim persecution narrative whipped up and be reported, you know, really in a very false way that's been reported over the last few years.
Andrew Copson, thank you.
Let's get more now on the news that one of Britain's favourite high street music and DVD stores, HMV,